Hey there, welcome to CNT Collectibles. I am C. Hope you're doing well today. All right, playoffs. We're heading into the Super Bowl, so we want to take a quick look at the last weekend. Another excellent couple of games here. It's been a lot of fun to watch and see what if anything is happening in the with the cards of the players. And as we can see with Joe Burrow, something is happening here. So we'll just wrap up some of the more notable names that Card Ladder has. A lot of this information is from yesterday, and I see that this morning, this is Wednesday morning, hasn't been updated yet. So we'll go over a couple of these again on Friday, but just the initial reaction, if there is any, if there hasn't been a sale, after the relevant game or whatever retirement news or anything like that, I'll make a note of that. Otherwise, a lot of these things have happened afterwards, so there's a lot of speculation on what happens on these things. It's as current as I can get, and we'll monitor it going forward and all that kind of good stuff. But let's have some fun, see what we see. Like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. And we'll start off with Joey Burrow in the PSA 10 Prism. Looks awesome. Going to the Super Bowl. We had a little consolidation, upward grind here. And said, makes it to the Super Bowl. Look for a move into his near his all-time high, this resistance area, and here we are. So it's a very quick move on low volume. We've seen that in the past, and it kept going up. And so this is where it's important to manage risk a bit here. So it's very thin volume. I'm not going to pretend to know what the next move has in store here, but you can see going into, there's going to be a lot of hype over the next couple of weeks, a lot of people getting on board, and you can see quite a battle between the Bulls and the Bears like you did here. So a lot of consolidation. Maybe best if you do get this pop, like I said, if we got a pop up here, maybe best to take some profits if that's what you're looking for. If you're a collector, enjoy. If you're buying to make some money, then this seems like a logical area to do that. It could rip higher, but you can see in the off season, after all the news dies down, maybe he settles back into this range. So I'm not gonna say playing with fire or anything like that, but if it gets up into this area, then you might be even more fortunate. But what you would do if you had a bunch of Joe Burrows is maybe start lightening the load right here. All right, the PSA 9, same thing with the pop up into the previous. This is where his consolidation started when the card first came out. We returned to the scene of the crime here. So solid breakout, obviously. And you can use this trend as your marker here, but with volume thinning out a little bit. Again, it's if a lot of people want to come in and start selling right here, you've already seen not a lot of buyers willing to do this. So it gets very thin, and if too many sellers come in, you can overwhelm if too many buyers come in, too many people down here want to sell, you can overwhelm the people that want to buy, and then that's going to lead to lower prices overall. So again, maybe we're just looking for consolidation or something like that, but this seems like a logical place for people to start ringing the register a bit here. Sorry about the frog in my throat here. All right, the raw version as well, ripping out of the range. A couple of sales brought it up in here, and I would expect that to maybe come back into this resistance zone as well. So if this is a card you're looking for, patience may be rewarded. All right, the optic rated rookie, the hollow here, so making some new highs. Again, this sale happened right around the time of this weekend here. It's just it's going it's going along with the rest of them. So I think people like that one. I think it's a little bit more limited. Yeah, just a low population on that one. So you may have to chase that one if that's what you want. There aren't that darn many of them here. So the raw version as well. The last sale was on it was before this weekend here. So again, we could start to see some more upward movement on that card. As after this weekend, maybe that brings out some more interest in buyers and sellers on that particular card here. Matty Staffy, PSA 10, again before the weekend. So we'll see what happens with the heading into the playoffs here. He's been in a long-term consolidation here, but I think you could see some of the low population. So maybe there's just not that many out for sale. But I think the raws are actually ripping pretty well, so that would increase demand for this, and you could see some higher prices on that. But a lot of sideways action, and if people take a longer look at him, it's like, yeah, he's been awesome, but what is his longer term path? How's that look? So PSA 9 grinding to grinding to lows, but then coming back up into this area of consolidation. So again, this happened. I think that's playoff day actually. So the 30th. So let's see, 31st. Yeah, something like that, right around there. So nice couple of rips here. And so I think that will give a lift to the rest of his cards. Again, not that many of them out there in those refractors, and the raw version right around the highs as well. So I'd expect those higher grade ones to get a bid once they come back online here. Cooper Kupp continues to rip. He had his not consolidation, that was an upward trend really. And broke out and retested successfully, and you're seeing a lot of activity in here still. So this one again, it's fairly liquid in this area for a low population card. And there's enough sales here, which shows that there's a lot of people interested in buying, obviously, but also enough people interested in selling this card. And as soon as you have more people willing to sell than are willing to buy, then that's when you see this thing come back down. So be very careful with this one. We can draw a little trend here, I imagine, and that would be your line in the sand. I think for most of these cards right now, I mean, how much more relevant are these guys going to get? For me, I'm just enjoying watching and charting it. As far as, actually getting in on these cards, no, not for me. Again, cards are all about relevance, and again, these guys are not going to be any more relevant than they are right now for the most part here. Prism Silver in the raw as well, getting close to the top of his range here. Patty Mahomes, PSA 10, is going to have a little time off to think about buying some of his cards here, and you may have an opportunity to do so. So there's a big drop. And that's kind of a one-off here. So I think you can probably start to settle in and see some buyings on that one. So again, that's the PSA 10. So this is an area where there has been some buying. Could go a little bit lower or something like that. But his correction, at least in this card, looks to have already kind of happened. Again, might be a one-off, and you see the next sales in here, which would give you a better opportunity. I don't know if I would sell my card right there, but I'd probably be more interested in looking at buying if I were to do so. And you have his PSA 9 base at the top of the range. So people say, oh my gosh, these all the plastics are selling. Well, just market psychology would say it's time to start selling as well. Most likely, risk reward is not favorable. Prism PSA 10, again, just a consolidation. Who knows? I mean, maybe get a move down. Could be a decent move down, a couple $100 or anything or something like that. So, but as far as end of the world for Patrick Mahomes, perhaps not here. His raw same thing, just a dump into the support zone. So some of his cards are presenting some interesting buying opportunities, and there's some that maybe you want to pull the trigger on. Travis Kelce. Someone did not like his exit from the playoffs here. He had a nice breakout, but you could, as soon as they lost, that's it here. So bring it back into an interesting buying opportunity here. So if you can get it at this price, again, looks like a kind of a one-off, but as long-term prospects, as far as after the game and everything like that, he may have some long-term relevance. And so I think I think this is probably a more interesting spot to buy than actually unloading your Travis Kelce. So Tyreek Hill, PSA 10, whole lot of nothing. There's a pop in the playoffs coming back, and this was all before this weekend's game here, so probably not much to do with that one. Maybe it goes a little bit lower, but this has been the buy zone for the past year or so, and here you are again. Tom Brady PSA 10, no movement here, so we'll see what happens. I think it was Neo who was talking, it might have been his Monday show or his Sunday show, seeing a lot of Tom Brady cards on the market. And so if this is bringing out the sellers, it's going to overwhelm the buyers. And again, you'll see those prices go lower. But for now, you're just kind of in the middle of the range of a consolidation. Your lower end is around, I forget what it is. It's around 16,000 or something like that. So we'll see what happens with that one. Again, the trend is slightly down here. Again, end of the world, probably not. There's enough interest in this card that, I don't think he undid his legacy at all with this weekend's game or anything like that. He'll be the greatest of all time for a long time. So I think there will still be a lot of interest. It could be a grind lower. I mean, if people start dumping this card, then buyers are going to step in. I imagine they're sitting on this waiting for a deal, perhaps. And there's just a lot of interest in this one. So no information as of yet eBay sales. So this is right around the end of the last game. So we'll see what the next few bring in here. Excuse me. If we look at his PSA 9 and his raw, PSA 9's had a few transactions. Raw hasn't hasn't had a sale recently. You have to go back to a couple of weeks ago. But you can see that they're going for about the same roughly, which is unusual. There should be some sort of multiplier, some sort of disconnect here. So I'm guessing the raw comes back down here, but the 9 is ticking up pretty nicely here. Again, I don't think he tarnished his legacy that much, and so I think people, if they're dumping it for whatever reason, I'm not going to say it's a mistake or anything like that, but it sure could be. You're playing with fire if you think you're going to buy it back a ton lower. Move myself out of the way just a little bit here. So Topps Chrome, Ben Roethlisberger also hung it up recently here. PSA 10, PSA 9. Not a lot of movement, no sales really this year, so or not for at least the last month or so. So we'll see what happens if sellers are coming out. He's no longer football relevant for the most part. I mean, Hall relevant probably, but it's going to be a few years. So we'll see what happens with those cards. So no change in Mr. Roethlisberger as of yet. And I think that's all I have for you. Just a quick little football update. I hope you're all well, and we'll talk to you later. I got a few more things coming on down the pike, so keep an eye open for that, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much.